So there's a Nike ad from the 80s that was really inspirational to me. There's a woman, it's a close-up on her. She's running, sweating, and she says, 3 years ago, I was overweight, had high blood pressure, diabetes, and I was knocking on death's door. And years later, here I am training for the Boston Marathon. And the camera starts to pan out, and she's running on this wide country road, and it says, "Who says you can't run away from your problems?" I showed signs of being a good kid, loved being active, loved getting outside, riding my bike, playing basketball, just getting out, playing with friends. But things, started to get squirrely. I didn't quite feel like I fit in. There was just turmoil. It certainly led me to want to change how I felt. If I were to personify addiction, he would be charming, charismatic, leader, silver tongue, it's got many to follow it, dominant, not allowing attention to go anywhere else, promising better things. This better thing always around the corner. There's always something more sweet. So heroin entered my life when I had just turned 15. We were at one of our friends' house one night, and a buddy of mine was like snorting something, and he came up and he had this look. It was just like contentment. He called it Chiva. We snorted it right there off the hood of a car that night. It was one of the most amazing feelings I've ever felt. You get this warm, tingly sensation that sort of washes over your face and then over your body. I just had this like black hole in my soul, and I just wanted to change the way I felt. I just wanted to get high in new and different ways. I would drink, take mushrooms, Xanax, Valium, pills, horse tranquilizers. I wanted to go all in. I was living in a pink motel. I would go in the bathroom with this sort of green tinged fluorescent lighting that would kind of flicker off and on above me. I'd take the syringe, I'd fill up a cap, draw up, I'd take a spoon, take a piece of black tar heroin, drop it in the spoon, pull out the plunger from the rig and mix it up, put it back in, and then draw up, and then fire it in. I feel nauseous thinking about it. Do a shot of Coke and your heart goes a million miles an hour. Really, as soon as I hit the plunger, it would like be a vomit button that I would just puke sometimes before I even could get the rig out of my arm. And it was this yo-yo, just go up and down and up and for down days, and up, days on end. No sleep, no food, water. Full-blown heroin addict tells me, sorry man, none of us want to hang out with you. We're afraid you're gonna die. And when you've got heroin addicts telling you that they're afraid to hang out with you, you might have issues. Everybody around me was telling me, man, you would just be so much better off if you would just stop doing drugs. And every time that I stopped doing drugs, I didn't feel great like everybody told me I would. I felt worse. I felt torn up. I felt like I wanted to die. I thought about death often. I've been court-ordered to a treatment facility. I waited in jail to get into this treatment facility, and I was acting a fool. I was crazy. I was acting smarter than everybody else. I thought I knew it all. I was breaking some rules. They didn't really apply to me. They never had. They basically came to me one day and they said, Jordan, we've decided that you are gonna be discharged early. And I thought, great. You fools see that I'm smart, that I deserve to get out of here. And they said, no, actually, an officer is here to arrest you and escort you back to jail. They take me to county jail. and I was in a purple jail cell. I was with a bunch of guys, and 2 guys were arguing over a toilet paper roll. At that moment, I thought, this is not what I'm made for. I absolutely deserve to be here, but I don't belong here. And I no longer had the drugs and alcohol to blame it on. I was completely stone cold sober, and here I was sitting in a jail cell. And I'm facing some serious, serious consequences and several years in prison at this point. And I knew that beyond a shadow of a doubt, no matter how hard my consequences were at that point, that I was going to shoot dope again if something drastic didn't change. God, whoever you are, whatever you are, I need help. My life has drastically got to change. I was in that moment broken. And that's when I hit rock bottom. Most people say, drugs are your problem, stop them. Well, really, for a dope fiend like myself, drugs are a solution. You take away those drugs, and now we've got problems. I thank God that I had 13 months of incarceration, and I needed every minute of that to have a fighting chance. And so it's a fight. I got out, I got released into a homeless shelter. I just knew I needed help. I still wanted to shoot dope. The world is a trigger when you're early in recovery. Drive by a gas station, you walk into a bathroom. This is a good place to shoot dope. I needed to do something drastic. Trying to find places and groups to go to get some hope, and I just wasn't getting a lot of it. And so I said I would go to one last group, and I wanted to look for a sponsor. I need to look for a mentor to help guide me. I'm getting to my wit's end at this point. And so I look around, I didn't really hear anything crazy inspirational that I thought, yes, I want to give my life to one of these people to help walk me through recovery. And I walked outside and I surveyed the areas, everybody's out there smoking cigarettes, and I just thought, man, I just don't think I can do this. I don't think recovery's for me. There wasn't a lot of hope in that moment. So I start walking to my car, and this dude calls out my name. He says, "Hey, Jordan, do we need to talk?" And I was speechless. I said, yeah, I do. He said, "Hey, I heard you got a little tripped up. I'm gonna walk with you. I'm gonna guide you through this process. Where are you at in the work? Call me tomorrow. Let's get into it." And this dude just took me under his wing. He showed me the love of Christ, whether he knew it or not, and walked me into recovery, into freedom, and just snatched me up at one of the most integral parts of my life. And I'll be forever grateful for that man. There was a psalm that my mom sent me while I was locked up. It says something to the effect of, "I cry out to you, Lord, as I am desperate in my plea. Save me from my prison, so that the righteous may gather about me and sing of your good works." It's when I'm in those moments and when I'm crying out in the desperation, God's working in that. And I don't always feel close to it. There are a lot of things I don't have answers for. Why am I still here? I've had to bury friends who I think are much better dudes than I could possibly be. They were kind and gentle and giving. And so I don't have those answers. I know that he loves me. I trust that he knows the plan that he set out for me. And so I'm comforted by that in those messy moments. That's where God's doing his biggest work, is in the mess. My name is Jordan Rogers, and I am second.